McCarthy's shrieking denunciations and fear-mongering have created a climate of fear and suspicion across the country, raising the question in households across the nation, who are the un-American Americans amongst us?
Any man who has been named by either a senator or a committee or a congressman is dangerous to the welfare of this nation.
President Eisenhower refuses to engage directly with McCarthy. In a letter to his brother, however, Eisenhower explains, "As for McCarthy, only a short-sighted or completely inexperienced individual would urge the use of the office of the presidency to give an opponent the publicity he so avidly desires. Time and time again, without apology or evasion, I and many members of this administration have stood for the right of the individual for free expression of convictions, even though those convictions might be unpopular, and for uncensored use of the libraries except for as dictated by common decency."
Yvette?
Monsieur, I didn't see you come in. You frightened me up to death.
Wouldn't want to do that. There are so many better ways to die. Please, turn that noise off. Is everything ready?
Oui.
Good. Cook.
Sir.
Everything on schedule?
Dinner will be ready at 7:30. Sharp.
Right on time. And you have your instructions?
Oui.
Very well then. Let the game begin. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm not sure I'm in the right.
Yes, indeed, you are expected, Colonel.
How do you...
It is Colonel Mustard, isn't it?
No, that's not my name. My name is Colonel...
I believe it's been recommended that tonight you use a pseudonym.
Oh, no thank you. I took my antihistamine before I came.
May I take a coat?
All right, I suppose.
Not to worry, Colonel. It's just the maid. In the hall. With the champagne cork.
Champagne.
Don't mind
This
if
way,
I do.
monsieur.
Thank you. Are you expecting someone else?
Indeed. I'll be with you in a moment.
Follow me, Colonel.
With pleasure, my dear.
Do come in, madam. You are expected.
Do you know who I am?
Only that you are a socialite to be known this evening as Mrs. White.
Yes. It said so in my letter. But why must
May I introduce you? Mrs. White, this is the maid, Yvette. I see that you two know each other.
We've never met. Champagne? I think not.
Please, warm yourself in the lounge.
Why? It's rather cold.
A bit. Right this way.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Pleased to meet you.
I'm rarely pleased to meet anyone. Bonjour, madame. Please come in from the rain.
Mrs. Peacock, I presume.
Who? Oh, yes, that's me.
Cook, will you please take Mrs. Peacock's stall? I see that you two know each other.
Don't be ridiculous. I've never seen that woman in my life. Champagne? My lips belong to the Lord.
Please, make yourself comfortable in the lounge.
Thank you for your hospitality. Oh, and there's a couple Benjamins and none of the caramels for you, butler.
Oh, sticky.
I expect to be treated like the wife of a wealthy.
Hold that thought. Right this way. After you, Mrs. Peacock.
Oh my! Look at the detail of this molding. This is quite a magnificent mansion, isn't it? Oh! Who are you? Welcome to the party.
This is turning out to be quite the crowd.
Is this the right address to meet Mr. Bonnie?
Sit! No, not you, sir.
Sorry.
Please, come in.
I suppose this letter has me rather anxious.
You must be Mr. Green.
Ah, that's exactly who I am.
Welcome, sir.
Whoa, this isn't at all what I had expected.
I find that if you expect nothing, then you're never disappointed.
Oh, I'm not disappointed.
Pardon me, sir. Good evening.
Please arrive at 7:30 sharp on Saturday evening. Well, here I am.
Professor Plum.
If you say so.
Well. I thought I'd seen everything.
Miss Scarlett, welcome. I didn't realize that you and the professor were acquainted.
We're not. The bridge is washed out from the rain. My car broke down and this professor offered to give me a ride. I hadn't realized we were headed to the same place until we arrived.
And how was your drive?
It's a long haul.
Indeed. It is a long haul. But then it's a very large house. This way.
Say, what is this god-forsaken place anyway?
This old place? Oh, this is Body Manor. Cook! Dinner.
Directly.
Appetizers in the lounge. After you.
Hoistivers! Good. I'm starving.
Funny. I haven't much an appetite at all.
My, this really is a party.
Well, greetings all. It's a pleasure for you to meet me. Cocktail hour.
There are so many of you. I didn't realize
Right,
that.
good then. You're all here. Colonel Mustard.
Present.
Miss Scarlett. Mrs. White.
Yes.
Professor Plum.
Right.
Mr. Green.
That's me.
Mrs. Peacock.
How do you do?
Greetings. I am Wadsworth, the butler. Tonight, as you may have surmised, nobody is being addressed by their real name. A courtesy that your host has provided to ensure your privacy. I suggest that you never know when... dinner.
Sorry. I'm a bit clumsy, I suppose. Sorry.
Dinner. That was more like a cocktail minute.
Mr. Wadsworth, you were saying, you never know when, what?
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 We really often keep her waiting. Cook can get cranky. Ladies and gentlemen, follow me. The dining room is right this way. You'll find your names beside your places. Please be seated.
What was my name again? All right, Colonel Mustard.
Professor
Green.
Butler, here. You must be Mrs. White? Yes, right after you. Yes.
You, my lady?
I know, I am quite a gentleman, I know.
Ah,
It'll
there.
be a lovely evening for you.
There it is. This seat at the head of the table, is that for you?
Indeed. No, sir. I don't sit. I am merely a humble butler.
What exactly do you do?
I buttle, sir.
Dinner is served.
Thank you, cook.
All right. What is this all about, Butler? This dinner party?
Ours not to reason why, ours but to do and die.
Die?
Merely quoting, sir, from Alfred Lord Tennyson.
I prefer Kipling myself. Do you like Kipling, Colonel?
Sure, I'll eat anything. So, who is our host? And is this where he sits?
All in good time, sir.
What's that smell? It smells so familiar.
Shark fin soup.
My favorite.
I know. Bon appetit.
This is delicious. This is yummy, 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 yum. Well, I guess I'll be the one to break the ice. I guess I'll be the one to get the ball rolling. Being a hostess is an integral part of my life as the wife of a wealthy. I forgot. We're not supposed to say who we really are, but I have no idea what we're doing here. I'm very intrigued, though, and oh my, is this soup delicious.
I know who you are.
You do?
I work in Washington. Washington. You must be a politician's wife, Mrs. Peacock.
Yes, I am.
Who's your husband? Maybe I know him.
Well, he's Mrs. White. You've been awfully quiet. What does your husband do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
He just sort of lies on his back all day.
How lazy.
Not necessarily.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm a bit accident prone. Sorry.
That'll be $5, mister.
Sorry?
Mr. Green, what do you do in Washington?
Oh, I'd better not say. I like to follow the rules.
Well, if I wasn't trying to keep the conversation going, then we would all just be seated here in an embarrassed silence.
Are you afraid of silence, Mrs. Peacock?
Yes. No. Why?
Well, in my professional opinion, it seems that you suffer from what we call pressure of speech.
Is that an official diagnosis?
Are you a doctor, Professor?
Of psychological medicine.
Do you practice?
Not anymore. I currently work for the government.
Another politician.
Not exactly. I do research for you know who.
Who?
A branch of the United Nations organization, the World Health Organization.
You know who. It's an acronym.
I have a sister who was a gymnast.
You are a real colonel, aren't you?
I am, sir.
Aren't you going to mention the coincidence that you also live in Washington, D.C., Colonel?
How do you know that?
Oh, I've seen you before.
So, Miss Scarlet, does this mean that you live in Washington too?
Sure do.
Does anybody here not live in Washington?
Oh, then this is about the Red Scare.
I am not a communist. I'm a Republican.
Wadsworth, we've had enough of this. Where is our host and why have we been brought here?
Ah, speak of the devil. Pardon me, please.
Hey, I've got an idea.
Yes, excellent thinking, Miss Scarlet. What are we doing?
The acoustic coupling between the wall and the glass allows sound waves to travel from one side to the other.
All the guests have arrived as expected, sir. Everything's going according to plan. We'll meet you in the study.
Oh, what about this chick here? Watch it,
Who was at the door? I demand to know what's going on here.
Can I interest any of you in fruit or dessert?
No!
In that case, may I suggest that we adjourn to the study for some coffee and brandy, at which I believe your newly arrived host will reveal his intentions, your letters will be explained, and the game will be afoot.
coffee, brandy.
Thank you, Yvette. That will be all.
Oui, monsieur.
Well, where's our host?
He's not here. Nobody's here. What is going on?
Cigarette, it'll calm your nerves.
I don't smoke.
For Wadsworth after dinner. It's for you.
Right then. Are you comfortable?
I make a good living.
Oh, out with it, Wadsworth!
Ladies and gentlemen, these instructions are clear.
I'm glad something is.
Seems that the 6 of you have all received the same letter. It will be to your advantage to be present on this date because Mr. Body will bring to end a certain long-standing, confidential, and painful financial liability.
Yep, that's exactly what it says, right to the
on
letter.
paper said, for sure.
As it turns out, you all have something in common.
It's that tyrant McCarthy. We're all being blacklisted, aren't we?
Close, Colonel. You're all being blackmailed. For some considerable time, all of you have been paying more than you can afford to someone who threatens to expose you.
Oh, please. What's somebody going to blackmail me for? I go to church every Sunday.
Yeah, lady, don't we all?
Anybody else wish to deny it? Until you received your letters, you hadn't known who was blackmailing you. But now I'm sure that even the least discerning amongst you has determined that the man behind your ransom is Mr. Body himself.
It's
And who are you?
Mr. Body.
Mr. Body,
Mr.
henchman?
Not
You
good
pompous
for my
British
blood pressure.
butler.
Who is this body fella, you brutish butler?
Who Mr. Body is no concern of yours. Suffice it just to say that he is a supporter of the House Un-American Activities Committee, and he feels that all of your activities have been decidedly un-American.
Now you listen here.
But nothing I don't get the Constitution. I do not.
My task this evening is to expose all of your secrets to each other, rendering you all culpable in each other's indiscretions.
But we hardly know each other.
Precisely.
Don't you think that you might spare us this humiliation?
I am afraid that I have no choice. We'll start with you, Professor Blum.
Ooh, this ought to be good.
It says here that you were once a professor of psychiatry, specializing in pathological lying lunatics suffering from delusions of grandeur.
Yes, but now I work for the U.S. government.
So your work has not changed. But you can't practice medicine anymore, can you? Your license has been lifted, correct?
Why? What did he do?
You know how male doctors aren't supposed to date their lady patients?
Yeah?
Yeah, well, he did.
How awful! You know something, there'll be a refuge for men like you.
I hope so. Me too.
You're disgusting.
Are you making moral judgments, Mrs. Peacock? Well, then, would you justify taking bribes in return for delivering Senator Peacock's votes to certain lobbyists?
My husband is a paid consultant. There is nothing sinful about that.
Not if it's publicly declared. But if you slip cash under the stall door at Old Ebbett's Grill, how then would you justify that transaction?
I'd say it stinks.
When were you in that men's room?
So it's true.
No! It's a vicious lie.
But you've been paying the blackmailer for over a year now to keep that story out of the papers. It seems a little sticky, no?
Well, see,
I'm willing to believe you. I too am being blackmailed for something I do not do.
So am I.
Not me.
You're not being blackmailed?
Oh, I'm being blackmailed all right. But I did what I'm being blackmailed for.
What did you do?
I run a non-governmental agency that handles classified affairs.
affairs? In Washington?
Is that how you knew Colonel Mustard? Is he one of your clients?
Certainly not.
I was asking Miss Scarlet.
Well, you tell him it's not true.
It's not true.
Is that true?
No, it's not true.
So it is true.
A double negative.
A double negative? You mean you have photographs?
Now that sounds like a confession to me. In fact, the double negative has led to proof positive. I'm afraid that you gave yourself away.
Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
You don't need any help from me, sir. Colonel, looks like you hold a sensitive security post in the Pentagon. Those negatives would most certainly compromise your position.
What position exactly were you caught in, Colonel?
This is an outrage!
Let's see. Who's next? Mrs. White, you've been paying our friend the blackmailer ever since your husband died under, shall we say, mysterious circumstances.
Say what you want, I didn't kill him.
Then why are you paying the blackmailer?
I don't want another scandal, do I?
Another.
Yes. It was a very humiliating confrontation. He had threatened to kill me in public.
Why would he want to kill you in public?
I think she meant that he had threatened in public to kill her.
It was all over the papers.
And yet, he was the one who died. Not you, Mrs. White. Not you.
He was found dead, at home, unclothed. His head had been cut off, and so it is, you know. But I didn't do it. I was at the movies.
What was showing?
The Naked Alibi.
Likely story.
But he was your second husband. Your first also disappeared.
That was his job. He was an illusionist.
But he never reappeared.
He wasn't a very good illusionist.
And lastly, Mr. Green, who is a...
I don't need you to mask me, Wadsworth. I know what you're going to say about me.
And what's that?
Mr. Green, who is a homosexual.
Not me.
I beg your pardon?
You asked who is a homosexual, and I said not me.
Yes. Thank you, Colonel. But there's more to it than that, Mr. Green.
How do you mean?
There's evidence to support the question of your politics.
My politics? Since when is working for the Republican Party a crime?
You swore an oath of allegiance to the Republican Party, but neglected to vote for Eisenhower in the last election. Now, that's grounds for an ousting, if there ever was one.
But voting records are confidential.
Everything has its price, Mr. Green.
So there you have it.
Have what?
A crooked senator's wife, a lascivious doctor, a disloyal Republican, and so forth. Not exactly adhering to an all-American standard of behavior, are you?
Depends on who you ask.
Now, if this Mr. Body fellow is such a noble citizen himself, why doesn't he report us to the authorities?
And give up the opportunity to make a buck? Come now, Professor. What could be more American than that?
Apple pie.
All right, Wadsworth. So we're being blackmailed by a renegade McCarthyist. Where does that leave us?
Where is this Mr. Body?
And what does he want from us?
Who cares? I'm not waiting to find out. I've done nothing wrong. I'm leaving.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Peacock. You can stay in denial, but you cannot leave this house.
Oh, you can't stop me. I'm the wife of a... Locked!
Indeed. All the doors are locked. The windows are barred. The grounds are patrolled by vicious dogs. There's no way out.
Well, now
you're listening to your personal military expert to get me out of this.
Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you to your host for the evening and your blackmailer for life, Mr. Body.
How
you do.
Right about it. You're nothing but a good one.
Right in the study with her knee. Thank you. I studied martial arts.
And there's one more piece of information that you may like to have.
What?
The police are coming in less than an hour.
Now, come on, you don't care. You ought to take it. Unless what?
You agree to double down.
And why would we agree to that?
Because if you don't, I'll put this briefcase containing all the evidence needed to expose your wrongdoings to the police, the press, and the House Un-American Committee. With the right spin, those fellas can make a Tommy out of anyone. Some of you would face a lifetime in jail, and others a lifetime of shame.
Well, now see here, Mr.
Now,
Body.
see,
You
I'm
don't
in
need to do
the
anything.
United
You don't have to take all our money. Unless what?
Well, there's something that you could do that would change the game. Something I can't bear to do myself.
What?
Have a seat, please.
Do you mind if I sit here? Thank you. Sorry, I'm a bit accident prone. Sorry.
What's this about, sir?
In this bag, there are 6 packages I thought our guests might find useful this evening.
Packages?
Presents, if you will. I'm a generous sort of fellow.
Are you?
Wadsworth, can you please see that each guest receives a certain gift?
Gladly.
Anyone want to make a guess at what's in their packages?
Perfume? Candy?
A rare single malt Scotch whiskey.
Aren't guessing games fun? Please, open them.
A candlestick? What's this for?
A wrench?
A lead pipe?
A dagger?
A revolver?
What? It's a snake!
No, it's a roach.
In your hands, you each have a lethal weapon. You came here tonight because you believed the evidence against you was so terrible you would do anything to keep the secret. I'm putting that theory to the test.
You are?
Mr. Wadsworth is the only other person here who knows your secrets, and it's costing us quite dearly to keep him quiet.
What do you mean?
I wouldn't have to double your payments if I didn't have to pay Wadsworth for his silence.
Wadsworth?
That's a lie.
He may look suave and charming,
Thank you.
but really, he's conniving and manipulative.
False.
Why else do you think he called the police?
You called the police?
Only because he instructed me to do so.
Did I? Ladies and gentlemen, if you can manage to get rid of Mr. Wadsworth, I have no need to increase your blackmail or expose you to the police.
Get rid of.
Does he mean kill him?
In fact, if you can, eliminate Wadsworth, who not only knows your secrets, but also mine. Then now end your blackmail altogether, and we'll be done with this terrible business once and for all.
Yes.
You would never.
But why make us do it, Body? Why don't you do your dirty work yourself?
Yeah, why should I? When the 6 of you are so uniquely motivated and armed.
What a patriot.
After all that I've done for you. He's a liar. I'm one of you. I'm not a butler. I'm an indentured servant.
A familiar refrain. Don't make a scene, Wadsworth. It's over. The police are on their way. Now is your chance. The one way for you to end your blackmail and avoid finding yourselves in front of the pages is for one of you to kill Wadsworth now.
It's Mr. Bonnie.
Oh, thank you.
Stand back! I am a doctor. He's dead. I did.
So you shot him.
I didn't.
If you didn't, then who did?
Someone grabbed the gun from my hand, and the next thing I knew, there was a shot.
But there's no gunshot wound.
He's right. There isn't.
Look, there's a bullet lodged here.
Eagle eye, Miss Scarlet.
Well, if the bullet's over there, how did he die over here?
I don't know. I'm not a forensic expert.
Something else must have killed him. One of us must have killed him.
Don't look at me. I didn't do it.
Why would
don't
you
look
shot?
Maybe Mr. Body was poisoned by the brandy.
Poison!
I'm sure there's something to work. I'm sure.
Someone had to stop her screaming.
Was the brandy poisoned?
How should I know?
Looks like now we'll never know.
Unless she dies too.
The screams are coming from the billiard room. It's locked. Who's in there? Who's screaming? Yvette! Yvette, are you all right?
Yvette, are you alive?
Of course I'm alive, you idiot! No thanks to you, Wadsworth. You plugged us into this house with a murderer.
So, Yvette, the murderer is here?
Where?
Where? Here, we're all looking at him.
Or her.
What took you so long?
I'm old woman who may or may not have been poisoned. It's amazing I'm anywhere. I heard you were on the study. One of you is the killer.
How could you hear us in the study?
I was listening. I have a tape recorder connected from the billiard room to the study. Monsieur Body asked me to record your conversations.
Now, why would he ask you to do that?
For more evidence, of course. Wadsworth revealed all of your secrets. Now they are all recorded.
That snake! Gotta get hold of those recordings. Where are the tapes?
Who cares about these tapes? What about the body?
What body?
Body's body!
But, Yvette, why are you in there screaming all by yourself?
Because I was frightened. I was James the Cognac. Maybe I am poisoned too. One of you is a killer. Monsieur Body is dead.
We have to figure out which one of them did it.
What do you mean, which one of them?
Well, I didn't do it.
Well, one of you did. I would have killed him myself, but I didn't have access to a weapon.
Don't look at me. All I got was a candlestick.
Maybe it wasn't one of us.
Who else could have been?
Who else is in the house?
Only the cook.
The cook! As far as I can tell, the cook's not here.
Oh, what a lovely kitchen. My husband and I had a kitchen like this in our first brownstone. It is such a homey feel, doesn't it?
It's the cook!
With the dagger in her back.
Somebody must have killed her.
This makes two.
Two what?
Murders.
I hate murders!
I think you better explain yourself, Wadsworth.
Me?
Who else wanted to kill the cook?
Dinner wasn't that bad.
How can you make jokes at a time like this?
It's my defense mechanism.
Some defense. If I were the killer, I'd kill you next. I said if. There's only one admitted killer here, and it's not me. It's Mrs. White!
I've admitted to nothing.
You paid the blackmail. How many husbands have you had?
Mine or other women's.
Yours?
5.
5?
Yes, just the 5. Husbands should be like Kleenex. Soft, strong, and disposable.
Well, if it wasn't you, then who was it? Who had the dagger?
It was Mrs. Peacock!
Oh, yes, but I put it down
Where?
in the study. Any one of you could have picked it up.
Don't look at me, I don't even know what it is. Jeez.
I know who did it. It was Mr. Green.
Somebody please help me.
Good Lord, that's him. Oh.
You really gotta learn to speak up for yourself better, Mr. Green.
Oh, my Lord. Gentlemen, may I suggest that we take the cook's body into the study?
Why?
Well, for starters, we'll all be in custody and under suspicion for murder.
Murder?
And secondly, I'm the butler. I like to keep the kitchen tidy.
The body's gone.
What are you all staring at?
Nobody.
What do you mean?
Nobody. No body. Mr. Body's body is gone! Wasn't he dead?
He was.
We should have made sure.
I thought I had.
So, was he dead or wasn't he?
Maybe he was dead, but somebody moved him?
Who would move him? And why?
How should I know?
Well, if he's not here, then where is he?
Oh my. All this excitement. If you'll excuse me, do you have a little girl's room?
Oui, oui, madame.
No. I just want to powder my nose.
There's a toilet outside the billiard room.
Thank you.
I don't mean to alarm anybody, but we currently have the small issue of 2 dead bodies. One missing, one present, and the imminent arrival of the police.
The bridge is washed out. That should buy us some extra time.
But they don't want extra time. How's the police to arrive? We are trapped in this house with a murderer.
But once the police gets here, the rest of us are doomed.
Wadsworth, am I right in thinking that there's nobody else in this house?
No.
Then there is somebody else in this house.
Sorry, I said no, meaning yes.
No, meaning yes?
Yes.
Just give me a straight answer.
Don't look at me.
Is there anybody else in this house, yes or no?
No.
No there is, or no there isn't?
Yes.
There seems to be some confusion about whether or not we are the only people in this house.
There isn't.
There isn't any confusion, or there isn't anybody else.
Either. Both.
Just give me a clear answer.
What was the question?
Is there anybody else in this house?
No!
That's what he says, but does he know?
Look, we've got a killer on the loose, the missing dead body, Mr. Body, a pug with a dagger in her back, and all of these easily accessible weapons. The rope, the revolver, the candlestick, and hey, where's the lead pipe?
Mr. Body! Oh!
bloody.
Oh
He's dead.
That's what you said last time?
I believe in second chances.
Mr. Body, dead? Again?
I think I'm going to faint.
I'll catch you. Sorry.
Mrs. Peacock,
Yes.
where did this happen?
Oh. In the bathroom. I opened the door and at first I thought that he was attacking me, but then I realized he was dead and that someone had killed him and propped him up, just waiting to fall on someone.
What douche had to think?
Oh.
Takes a lot of guts to kill someone twice.
What we call overkill.
But why?
What's the difference?
Makes a difference to him.
Makes a difference to us. We have to find out who killed him, where, and with what.
Seems like it was probably the lead pipe.
10 points, Professor Plum.
What kind of game are you playing, Wadsworth?
This isn't a game.
You! The lead pipe belonged to you!
But I dropped it on my way to the kitchen.
People don't just drop murder weapons.
I didn't know it was a murder weapon when I dropped it.
So any one of us could have picked it up.
Yes, of course. But who did? Who did pick up the lead pipe? Who picked up the lead pipe and brutally murdered Mr. Body, leaving him dead and bloodied in the bathroom? Who did that? Who?
Hold it, Butler. While you're losing your marbles, I'm over here trying to do something useful. Have you all forgotten about the evidence against us?
The evidence!
Body's briefcase is locked.
There must be a key.
Mr. Green, would you be so kind as to check Mr. Body's pockets for the key to his briefcase containing the evidence of all our crimes so that we can destroy said evidence once and for all?
Why me?
Why not?
Hey, where'd you get that?
I don't like germs.
Or fingerprints?
No, really? It's mostly just germs. Okay, 3, 2, 1. So warm. Oh, come on. Guys.
Keep it here. It's empty.
Empty!
Then where's all the evidence?
I told you that Body was a liar. Had the evidence in his briefcase, my foot.
We must find that evidence.
And destroy it.
Evidence against us aside. First things first, we're in a room with 2 dead bodies.
And the cop's on the way.
Let's move the corpses to the couch so they look less dead. No.
Help me, Monsieur Green.
All right.
Careful! Don't get dropped on the ground.
Solid battlefield technique, Professor Plum. Never leave a man behind.
Cadavers are heavier than they seem, aren't they?
Me neither.
Upsy daisy.
Pump her up. Aren't you all strong and virile?
Good. They just look asleep.
Forget about the bodies. We need to do something about this room full of murder weapons and the homicidal maniac on the loose.
Let's put the weapons in the bag.
What good will that do?
Put them in. Then we'll zip up the bag.
Most murderers know how zippers work, Mr. Wadsworth.
I know. Then we'll, put the bag in the safe.
Great. Where's the safe?
In the hall.
That's an original trumbull, Mr. Wadsworth.
Those are quite valuable.
Now's not the time for art appreciation. Butler!
A hidden safe behind a portrait. How original.
There. Locked.
Voila.
What are you gonna do with the key, Wadsworth?
Oh, yes, it's a key.
I'll put it in my pocket.
But what if you're the killer?
I'm not.
But what if you are?
I've an idea. We'll throw it outside.
Oui, à l'extérieur. But it's raining à l'extérieur.
I'm not suggesting that we stay outside. I'm suggesting that we stay inside, but throw away the key.
But you'd have to open the door, wouldn't you?
I would.
But what if the killer's outside?
Better out than in.
Yes, we want to keep him outside, wouldn't we? If we open the door, we risk letting him in.
But maybe if we open the door, we'd encourage the killer to go out. The killer seems to be doing a fine job opening and closing doors all by himself. I don't see how opening the door for one tiny second could possibly make any sort of difference.
But what if we open the door, throw away the key, the killer catches it, and then the killer would have the key we're trying to confiscate?
We might be overthinking this. I'm going to throw away the key. Follow me. Not now.
Was that the killer?
He didn't look like a killer.
Takes one to know one.
Leave him to me. Interrogation is my specialty. How do you do?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb the whole household, but my car broke down outside, and I was wondering if I could use your phone.
Are you a killer?
What? No.
All right then. This way, please.
Well, where is it?
What? The body?
The phone. What body?
What? There's no body. There's no body.
Right. There's no body in the study.
No. That phone's been disconnected. But I believe there's one in the lounge.
Alrighty then.
Right through this door.
Thank you.
There. Look in the lounge. Now, listen. Our task is twofold. 1, find the evidence. 2, find the murderer.
We have one potential suspect contained in the lounge. That leaves the whole rest of this place up for grabs. Who knows what's behind all these doors?
We should handle this in a proper military fashion. Split up and search the house.
Split up.
Yes, we'll split it into pairs. That way none of us will be alone.
But if we split it into pairs, whichever one of us is paired with the killer might get killed.
Won't do.
But we would have discovered who the murderer is.
But then, the other half of the pair would be dead.
This is war, Peacock. Casualties are inevitable. You cannot make an omelet without breaking eggs. Every cook will tell you that.
But look what happened to the cook!
Colonel, are you willing to take that chance?
What choice do we have?
None.
I suppose you're right.
All right, troops, divide and conquer. I'll split us up into pairs. Eeny, meeny, miny.
No. Mrs. White, you'll come with me. Professor Plum, you're with Mrs. Peacock. Yvette, you'll be with Mr. Green. And Miss Scarlet, you're with Eeny Meeny.
what if someone doesn't return?
Then we'll remember you fondly. Now, leave no door unopened and cherish your partner. This may be the last person you ever see.
Go on. I'll be right behind you.
That's why I'm nervous.
But why? It's just us. We're alone.
That's just it, Mrs. White. No man in his right mind would ever be alone with you.
Okay, fine. You go in there, and I'll go in here. Are you going in?
Yes. Are you?
Yes.
On the count of 3. 1, 3.
Nothing in that room?
Nothing in that room either.
Shall we switch to the ballroom?
After you.
This is quite an impressive library.
How are we supposed to find anything if we don't even know what we're looking for?
Civilized society is perpetually menaced by disintegration through the primary hostility of man towards one another.
Your fancy words don't intimidate me, Professor.
I take no credit, Mrs. Peacock. Freud, I think he's onto something.
Now is not the time for an academic pursuit. We're supposed to be finding the evidence.
It's a fruitless search, if you ask me. I mean, it's not like we're gonna walk into a room and find the evidence plastered on a wall.
I guess you're right.
Come on, let's go upstairs. Maybe we'll be excited by something in the bedroom.
I haven't been excited by something in the bedroom for years.
I'm a little nervous. I'm at that big house on the hill, and I've been walking the lounge. I didn't expect to be a whole group of people here. I think they're having some sort of party. And the funny thing is, I think one of them was my customer. Yeah, I regularly choose my passengers.
There you are.
You'll never believe what I found in the hallway. Professor Plum's stupid tobacco pipe.
Huh, what do you think that means?
Who knows, but it seems suspicious if you ask me.
I just did.
Honestly, Colonel, this is the last room left to search in this beastly mansion. We still haven't found the evidence.
I think our time has been productive, nevertheless.
Aren't you a Pollyanna?
You're a brave and determined lady, Miss Scarlet. I really enjoy our time together. I hope after this expedition ends, we can remain friends. I mean, really, murder aside, it's been a lovely group of people, all in all. I suppose I would like to ask Mrs. White when and how she lost her veil in the billiard room, but...
You found White's veil in the billiard room? Odd.
Odd.
Odd. A trap door. A trap door leading to a secret passage. Come on.
Ladies first, Miss Scarlet.
How heroic.
Where are we now?
How should I know? The lights are on.
Well, turn them on.
I wonder if I could see anything.
I'll feel my way around.
Don't get any funny ideas.
A table,
Telephone.
a chair.
A body.
A party! Ah!
Quick, find the door.
Get me out of here! Captain, the murderers are party out here, please! Let us out!
Let us in! Let us in!
Let us out! Let us out!
We can't let you out. The door to the lounge is locked.
You had the key, Wadsworth. You locked the motorist in here.
That's right. I did. I do. I don't. The keys are gone.
Gone? I have an idea.
There's no alternative. I have to break down the door. Stand back. I am a doctor.
Stand back! I'm a woman!
Somebody please help me.
What was that sound? I heard a gunshot. What was that sound? I heard a gunshot.
I will help you! I am done shooting at you. The door is open. You can come out now.
Why were you shooting at us?
To open the door.
You could have killed us.
I said stand back.
Let's add finding the key to the lounge to our priority list.
Say, Frenchie, where'd you get the gun anyway?
The safe. It was unlocked.
Unlocked?
Impossible. I have the key. No, I haven't. It's gone.
Gone? Not to beat a dead horse, but I feel like having all the keys is really...
I thought you said you threw away the key to the safe, Wadsworth.
I did say that, but I did not do that. We got distracted by the motorist at the door, and I forgot. One of you must have snatched the keys from my pocket when we were searching the house.
Okay, so whoever took the keys is the killer.
Precisely.
Speaking of the killer, the dead body in the lounge, you know, the motorist is dead.
Which one of you killed him?
We got them together.
And he was already dead.
But the door of the lounge was locked.
We went through a secret passage inside the conservatory.
Secret passage! Who designed this place?
The Parker brothers.
What are you? Quick! I have to get out. What are you going to be like? So I lock the door, maybe like out.
Don't worry. It's not the police.
It's the place. Oh.
I'm gonna let him in.
No!
It's the decent thing to do.
Open the door.
Good evening, sir. Evening, officer. We've been expecting you.
You have?
We haven't.
I got a tip about an abandoned car near the gates of this house. Did motorists stop by for help by any chance?
No.
Yes.
There seems to be some disagreement. At any rate, can I come in and use the phone?
No.
Of course. You can use the phone in the study.
Out of order.
My mistake. You can use the phone in the lounge.
Occupied.
If you please, sir, you may use the phone in the library. Right this way.
You're all acting rather peculiar.
It's because our chandelier fell down.
Yes. Shawty was featured. Yes, we never wanted to buy us. Fair enough.
It could have killed us. But don't worry. The maid will clean it up.
That's all well and good, but what's going on in the lounge and study?
Lounging, studying. This way.
Let me have a look.
No, thank you.
What?
This way.
Actually, I'd like to take a look around if you don't mind.
Of course, officer. Follow me. I will take you on a grand tour of Body Manor. This home was built by Lord Reginald Body in 1784.
We've got to cover our tracks to get rid of this guy.
Lord Body had been declared Lord Body after he discovered an antibody that would save everybody. Notice the mahogany floors. Did you know, in the 17th century, the buccaneer John Squimling first recorded the use of mahogany for making canoes? Can you canoe?
What? Hey, where'd everybody go?
Notice his brass doorknobs, crafted specifically for Lord Body by his body in 1878.
I don't care about the doorknobs, mister. What's going on around here? What are you hiding in those two rooms?
Which two rooms?
The lounge and the study.
Oh, those two rooms.
Yes.
No, officer, I don't think you should go in there.
Why not?
Because it's all too shocking.
Hello, officer. Welcome to the party.
Excuse me.
You are excused.
Pardon me.
Good night, officer.
Good night. That wasn't all that shocking, mister. Those folks were just having a good time. Why didn't you tell me this was a party?
My apologies, sir.
I'll just take a peek in the lounge if you don't mind. Excuse me?
Evening, sir. How do you do?
Are these men drunk? Dead drunk.
Want a sip?
Oh, I can't drink while on the job. The chief would kill me.
Killed if you do, killed if you don't.
What?
Have a lovely evening, officers.
Same to you. Well,
I can explain everything.
no explanation necessary. There's nothing illegal about any of this.
There's not.
Of course not. This is America, and that was the pursuit of happiness. May I use your phone now?
Certainly. The library officer.
Thank you.
All's clear. You can come out now.
Oh, great work, Mr. Green. Good job.
That was disgusting.
Don't do that, man.
That's not Miss Peacock. That was brilliant work by you. Let's go.
There. Locked.
How'd you do that? I thought you didn't have the key.
I didn't have my right pocket keys, but my left pocket keys were still intact. Now, let's finish searching the manor. The police are on their way.
But the police already came.
Not the broken down car police. The criminal investigation police.
Precisely. We must find the evidence, and we can't afford to have any more murders. This is getting dangerous. Now go!
Hello? Hello? Power outage. Must be the storm. Oh, hello, Chief? Yes, this is... Hello? Is this one working?
Hello? Who turns out the lights? Hello? It's only you. You scared me. I thought you were the killer.
Did somebody cut the line? Hello?
Did you find a clue? What is that in your hands?
Oh, good, you can hear me. You see, I found an abandoned car and wound up in an old mansion where all the lights just went out. I'm telling you, Chief, there's something funny going on around here. They're having some sort of party, and you'll never believe who I just saw. No!
Is anyone there? Who's there? Who's that? Colonel Mustard, is that you? Where are you? Who's that? Who's that? I could have fixed that so much quicker than that.
Everybody, shh! Did you hear that?
It sounds like a telephone is off the hook.
It's coming from the library.
That's where the killer must be.
I'm going in.
Aren't you afraid?
Of course.
Of what? A fate worse than death?
No, just death. Excuse me, Mr. Cop. Are you all right? Do you need any assistance? A phone book, perhaps?
Hey, listen, copper. The butler is asking you a question. Now, hang up the telephone or I will!
here in the billiard room.
Feel safe.
I can't relax.
How about a game of pool to pass the time?
Yeah, I love swimming. That's
I know.
I could be her.
Hello, hello, I am your singing telegram.
Three murders in 3 minutes.
That's our best record.
3 murders. 6 altogether.
Mr. Body, the cook, the motorist, the copy vet, and the singing telegram girl.
But who is the murderer?
Hey, that's the million-dollar question.
Sometimes the most obvious answer is right under our noses. I think it's the best course of action to retrace our steps. It all started like this. At the start of the evening, there was thunder, lightning, the dogs barked. Ding dong, Colonel Mustard. Ding dong, Mrs. White, who noticed Yvette. Da-da. Then Mrs. Peacock, who noticed the cook. Ba-ba. Then Mr. Green. Oh, sit. No, not you, sir. Please, come in. Then Professor Plum, Miss Scarlet. Gong. Then dinner is served. Well, that was more like a cocktail minute. To the dining room. Shark fin soup. Oh, yum, 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 yum. Then Mr. Body arrived and we all went to the study.
What are you doing?
Coffee, brandy. So who's this Mr. Body, butler? How do you do? Then Mr. Body arrived and he asked me to pass out the packages. Ah, a snake! No, it's just a rope. And then Mr. Body switched off the lights. Now! Ah! Mr. Body was dead. Well, not really. Really, he was alive, but we didn't know it. Then Mrs. Peacock drank his drink.
Again?
Poison! Ah! Well, somebody had to stop her screaming. Then we had to the billiard room.
Again?
Then Mrs. Peacock joined late. I'm an old woman who may or may not have been poisoned. Then Mrs. White asked, so who else was in the house? To which we all replied,
The cook!
Who we found knife in the back. Oh God, so gross. Will somebody please help me up? Then I suggested that we take the cook's body into the study. But Body's body was gone. Then Mrs. Peacock entered with Body on her body because Body had been bludgeoned in his beak. And then the briefcase. Empty. And next, the motorist arrived. Are you a killer? Then I locked him in the lounge. Dead. And that's when the unexpected happened. Hello. You're all acting rather peculiar. Can you canoe? Dead! Then the maid got strangled in the billiard room. Dead! Which brings us to I am Bang! And here we all are.
Bravo!
Wadsworth.
But what does it prove? Nothing. Well,
Enough of this. I know who the murderer is.
you do?
I do.
All right then. We're listening, Miss Scarlet. Who do you accuse?
It was Professor Plum in the hall with the revolver.
Liar!
We all heard the gun go off, Professor, and I found your stupid tobacco pipe while we were searching the house. When you drop it, huh? While scoping out the best vantage point to kill your next victim? I bet that poor fleeing telegram girl was an old patient of yours, right?
I've never seen that girl before in my life. I did it.
Well, the gun is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses. Whoever has the gun is the murderer.
Well done, Wadsworth. You'll never prove anything if you're all dead.
That may be so, Professor Plum. But if we're alive... Officers, there's your man.
Well done, Wadsworth.
That's what I said.
Yes, well, I'm saying it now. I'm Hank Cuff, Chief of Police. And Professor Plum, you're coming with me.
That's not how it happened. It happened like this.
All right then. We're listening, Professor Plum. Who do you accuse?
It was Colonel Mustard in the lounge with the wrench.
I never lounge.
I found your Medal of Honor in the lounge where the motorist had been killed by a wrench to the head. That wrench belonged to you.
That is a lie.
Well, the wrench is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses. Whoever has the wrench is the murderer.
Well done, Wadsworth.
There's your man, officer. Not a kernel of truth in him.
Well done, Wadsworth.
That's what I said.
Yes, well, I'm saying it now. Guilty verdict, Chief of Police. And Colonel Mustard, you're coming with me.
You have it all wrong. It happened like this.
We're listening, Colonel. Who do you accuse?
It was Mrs. White in the billiard room with the rope.
I'd rather die.
I found your veil in the billiard room and I saw how you cringed when Yvette served you dinner.
Yes, it's true. I knew Yvette. She had a torrid love affair with my late husband. I hated her. I hated her so much. Flames on the side of my face, breathing, heaving breath. But just because I hated her doesn't mean I kill her.
The rope. The rope is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses.
Well done, Wadsworth.
Well done, Wadsworth.
That's what I said.
Yes, well, I'm saying it now. Mark my words, Chief of Police. Mrs. White, it happened like this.
Mrs. White, who do you accuse?
It was Mrs. Peacock in the kitchen with the dagger. I found your feather by the corpse. Oh,
Well done, Wadsworth.
That's what I said. Yes, well, I'm saying it now.
Chief of Police!
But that's not how it happened.
It happened like this.
It was Miss Scarlet in the conservatory with the candlestick. Maximum, Chief of Police.
You can't do this to me.
Frankly, Miss Scarlet, I don't give a damn. But that's not how it happened.
No.
It happened like this.
Oh, again?
One more. I know who the murderer is.
Who?
All of you. Freeze! Nobody move. You're all killers.
You can't prove anything, Mr. Wadsworth.
I'm not Mr. Wadsworth. I'm Mr. Poddy.
How can you be body of body blood all over me?
It wasn't Poddy who was bleeding.
If Barney wasn't Barney, then who was he?
He was Wadsworth, my butler.
But if you're the real Mr. Body, then what was the point in dragging this all out?
Well, when you all started murdering people, I decided to roll the dice, see if you'd self-implode, kill off my entire network of spies and informers, which all of you did. Splendidly, by the way, generously leaving your fingerprints on every glass, doorknob, and dead body. So now, I have each of you on the hook for murder.
Murder?
Bribery for petty crimes is one thing. But murder? No, that could get expensive.
But why this whole charade? Yes, the searching the house, the madness of retracing our steps.
It's all part of the game.
Game?
Well, yeah. I'm relaxed now, you see. Now that you've killed everyone off, there's no evidence left against me. I've got off scot-free.
But the police will be here any minute. You'll never get away with this.
No.
What's so funny?
No one's called the police, have they?
They were never on their way.
Now listen up, you reprobates. We're gonna stack the bodies in the cellar, lock the cellar door, leave Body Manor one at a time, and forget any of this ever happened.
I can't forget all of this.
With murder on the menu, the price of blackmail just tripled.
Forgotten.
Now move!
Wait a minute. We can all rush him. He's got no more bullets left in that gun.
Come on. You don't think I'm gonna fall for that old trick?
It's not a trick. There was one shot at Mr. Body in the study, two at the chandelier, two at the lounge door, and one at the singing telegram girl.
That's not 6.
1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1.
There was one shot that caught the chandelier. That's 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1.
Even if you were right, that would be 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1, not 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1.
Okay, fine. 1 plus 2 plus... Shut up! Point is, there is one bullet left in this gun, and anybody who moves is gonna get it.
So you're just gonna keep blackmailing us, and we're all supposed to pretend like this never happened?
Of course. Why not?
I'll tell you why not. Larry Goodman, FBI. The jig is up.
Or is it?
Oh! Missed me. Well, apparently I'm a dead ringer for Green. He got a letter just like each of you, but he went to the bureau to ask for help. I took his place tonight so we could have a sting operation.
Some sting? 6 people died on your watch.
I usually work the desk. My beat is property crime. You know, theft, fraud. That's why I was so tickled when the real Mr. Wadsworth risked his neck to drop off a whole briefcase worth of evidence last night.
You had the evidence this whole time?
It's all here. Miss Scarlett's books, including the names of customers and employees, justifying why she killed that cop, who's listed right here on her payroll.
Give me that.
Who, and a love letter addressed to Professor Brown.
That is private property.
That singing telegram girl was the teenage daughter of the head of you-know-who. Who would have come clean to Daddy? Who would have cleaned out Professor Plum? So, you killed her.
Now see?
And these negatives. Okay. And these negatives, Colonel. Quite the regular at Miss Scarlett's establishment. Bet you couldn't be a colonel anymore if that motorist hadn't informed your general where he drives you on Tuesday nights.
I just wanted somebody to talk with.
Short spin soup indeed, Mrs. Peacock. Too bad your old cook couldn't keep quiet. If only she hadn't blabbed about your briberies, maybe you wouldn't have killed her just before joining us outside the billiard room. Now we know what really took you so long.
Circumstantial evidence will never hold up in a court of law.
But this notarized record from the cook will. And you, Mrs. White, you weren't lying, were you? You really did hate Yvette.
Flames on the side of my...
Okay, we get it. Here is a container holding the fingerprints collected at the scenes of your previous murders.
I never murdered my husband.
Fingerprints, I'm sure the FBI will be able to match to the noose tied around Yvette's neck.
I wore gloves.
You mean these? And last but not least, Mr. Bobby Body.
It's Robert.
You didn't hate Yvette at all, did you?
What's it to you?
Illicit green card love affair is the icing on top of the cake of this FBI file. An FBI file on the whole Body family. Your butler, the real Mr. Wadsworth, has been feeding us information for months. Talk about a real American.
He was British.
You know what I mean. I see why you'd want to kill him. Twice your shot missed him in the study, but he wisely played dead. And it wasn't until you caught him trying to escape that you bludgeoned him to death with a lead pipe I dropped on my way to the kitchen.
I mean, really, who drops a
I don't know what was up. The Body family has been wanted for organized crime for generations, but they've always eluded the law. Until now, tonight, the Body business has reached a dead end.
You leave my family out of this! Oh! Larry! Oh, hold me, Larry. It's so dark. Second wind. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked you a cake. Oh, yes. Here we go. Oh, no.
Back, back. He's dead.
Smile if your heart is breaking. Smile. Larry. No.
Back. I tell ya, this was the most exciting night I've had in a long time. And now, you're all under arrest! Officers! Here are the criminals you've been looking for, and you'll find the recordings of the confessions we've been waiting for in the billiard room.
Duh! The tapes.
All right, who done it?
She absolutely did, I swear. Dot, 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 dot. They all did. But if you want to know who killed Mr. Body, it was me, Special Agent Larry Goodman, in the hole with my gun.
Well done, Goodman.
That's what he said.
And that's how it really... Sorry. Okay, Chief, take him away.
No, please. I haven't done
I'm going home to sleep with my wife.
I told you how to...
Whoa. Hey. Come on, now. Come on, watch your back,
Can you canoe?